Webcomics are easy, donkey. They're all about video games, gamer nerds, web geeks, dork nerds, game wads, nerd games, webs, and elves. So just pick one of those and start tableting.
Ctrl Alt Delete Animated was an atrocious piece of media that was so profitable, we get to enjoy 2 seasons of this mess.
Spend your paycheck on video games again?
Naturally.
The characters, dialogue, premise, and pay-to-watch model all hindered what could have been a good animated series. Well, of course, if you liked Cat in the first place, I suppose. But who animated the series? What are they up to right now? Well, at the beginning of every episode, you actually see who made it. Lion Ferret Entertainment. And the person behind that is Ryan Sohmer, creator of Least I Can Do. Securing access to an exclusive interview with the man, we get to explore the series of Least I Can Do, the history of his company in general, and some burning questions that people might have. I am daftpina, and this is a great segue to our sponsor Skillshare. Skillshare is a fantastic online learning community of over 25,000 classes in business, design, art, animation, and other things related to those things I previously just said. And there's a class for any old person or people, such as this one taught by Shen Comics. Shen Comics in happy, angry, odd, drawing faces for webcomics.
This course is actually super hands-on, so sit forward and get ready to draw. Yay.
But if you hate Shen, which I don't, as I think he's quite a nice mellow fellow who likes Jello, we have this person instead, Keenan Lafferty, in the Webcomics Challenge, How to Create Stylized Characters.
In this class on Skillshare.com, you will learn many valuable techniques such as creating your own faces, creating style, experimenting with something that's going to work great for you and tantalize your viewers.
Zooey Mama, that was very spicy. Ow, my tongue. Better soothe it by giving everyone who clicks this link 2 free cool months of Skillshare Premium. In doing so, you get access to all these really heartwarming classes, such as the ones I previously mentioned and some of the other ones you're seeing on screen right now. And with an annual subscription of less than $10 a month, it's the most affordable service in its class. And today, folks, I'm going to teach you a few history lessons over Ryan Sohmer, as it's the least I can do. Written by Ryan Sohmer and originally drawn by Trevor Adams, Least I Can Do debuted in February 10, 2003. And the main character, of course, being named Rain Summers. This is the note that Sohmer is purely the writer, and over the course of 16 years has changed artists, with the current one being Lar de Souza, whom officially obtained the artist role for the comic back in 2005. And you may have seen it, or at least heard it, when I said the name Rain Ryan, as Rain Summers is based off of Ryan Sohmer, the creator of the comic. Sohmer was 24 when the comic first released, and of course made himself the protagonist, using it as a way to talk about his opinions through drawing. And in doing so, this makes Rain Summers the Mary Sue of the comic, because in any wacky situation, his best friend characters always go with it, and there's little to no comeuppance for Rain Summer as a character. But this was a major problem when it first started, but over the course of these 16 years, Rain and Ryan slowly drifted apart in personality. This is notable with the character arc of Rain and his niece going to a comic convention, and specifically stating, webcomics suck. Now this could be Sohmer venting through comics, or it could be a representation of the character and his feelings over comics. Moving right along to atop the fourth wall, where bad comics represent and show that Ryan is making fun of his creator, Rain, only to see other famous comic news strip characters also talking about their creator. However, this isn't the worst criticism of the comic, as a lot of early webcomics had creators making comics just to voice their opinion on something. This isn't a new concept. None of that, as it actually stems from the misogyny of the main character. And one notable past comic arc was the fact that Ryan slept with a minor and got away with it, so I had to ask Sohmer about this.
And when I was making these jokes, I genuinely did not see issues with it. I do now. And as I've changed, Rain has also changed, and he has, he knows where his deficiencies are, like we all do, and he's trying to improve on them. If you look at storylines I did 20 years ago versus the ones we do now, hopefully you can see the arc of the character, and hopefully you can see the arc of, the writer as well. Everybody wants people to change, so you got to let them change, right? Don't be offended when they do. Like, I'm not going to stop here, and maybe in 20 years we'll have the same conversation. When I was 40.
However, despite the main character being the comic actually gained a lot of success on the internet and real life, where people use the internet. Attending conventions as a creator, working with many artists to publish their works, and releasing a few books, action figures, and even an iPhone 4 case you can still buy, the profits from this endeavor led Sohmer to create Blind Ferret Entertainment. And as we kept mentioning before, originally made the animated series of Ctrl Alt Delete, but also made physical copies on DVD. And along with animating a full season of PvP, Sohmer almost got the chance to animate for VG Cats.
I would have loved at the time to do VG Cats, actually. We just couldn't get a deal together. We just couldn't get it moving forward. I would have done that.
However, with producing other animated series for other people, has Sohmer considered animating Least I Can Do?
Hey, I'm Justin Wang. You might know me from the infamous Jar video or the Brian Peppers shenanigans, but today I'm here to talk to you about Loss. Not Tim Buckley or his webcomic per se, but the man behind its animated series, Ryan Sohmer. Despite its animation quality, Ctrl Alt Delete received 2 seasons, as well as another venture by Sohmer, an animated version of the long-running webcomic PvP. Why am I bringing this up? Long before starting his animation team, Blind Ferret Entertainment in Canada, he began a comic of his own called Least I Could Do. Cropping up on its official channel, now renamed to the news studio Laughing Dragon Studios, you can see a few very old Least I Could Do cartoons with animated intros. So you've got to ask, did he ever make a series of his comic? Well, in 2011, Sohmer and his team created a Kickstarter, and knowing what we know about Kickstarter scams and just failed projects in general, you know that we're in for a wild ride here. Asking for $75,000 and having just the animated intro be the Kickstarter preview, Sohmer explains why he's asking for money. I won't bore you with all the minute details, but basically, there was a falling out between Sohmer and Teletoon and he wanted full creative control. That $75,000 Kickstarter fund would go towards just the 22-minute Least I Could Do pilot. And here's where it gets interesting. Despite this campaign having actually been fully funded and 8 years having passed, is it actually available to view anywhere? Technically, yes and no. Looking over at the YouTube channel, we see a few clips of it as well as some behind-the-scenes footage of the voice actors. But where is it? Mysteriously enough, with all of the updates the Kickstarter had, the comments underneath it were getting a bit worried. A few people who pledged for a signed book sadly never got it. If I was that singular person who had actually pledged $5,000 towards this project, I'd be a little mad by now. Or, previously back in 2011. And now, I didn't grow up reading this comic, so my curiosity isn't really tied to nostalgia so much as it is just that this is an interesting piece of lost media here. Being at the grasp of something that may or may not even exist is enticing, as even if the content itself may not be tailored to our liking, the fact that we can't see it makes it fascinating. However, there is some light at the end of the tunnel in this story, as in the comment section, Ryan Sohmer appeared to say that the backers did receive the pilot, and this is even corroborated in the recent interview that he did with Daft. The case of the missing pilot goes not cold, but lukewarm, as the Kickstarter did deliver, but only to the backers in an MP4 file that's now been locked away. I mean, I suppose any of these lucky 1,227 backers could leak it, not that I'm encouraging that, but if someone were to do that, I'd be pretty interested in seeing how it turned out. Anyway, once again, I'm Justin Wang. If you like this internet mystery deep dive, you'll probably like my channel. Go check me out in the description or the top comment. See you there.
Least I Can Do is still being made along with the special Sunday comic every Sunday in homage to Calvin and Hobbes, which retells the stories of Rain when he was a kid. That's pretty neat since 2010. But going back to his animation company, besides doing some personal work of course, he has done some animated stuff for advertising clients as well as a secret project he's about to tell you about.
So the series we're about to start is actually based on someone else's children's books. So we're doing 52 11-minute episodes. And yeah, animation these days is about 95% of my job now.
And of course, he hasn't lost sight on producing the Least I Can Do animated series.
I hope one day that I can just put it out there for everybody. But I'm always just trying to make a series happen, right? So I got to put that first. As long as the backers all saw it as soon as it was done, then I feel good about it.
Who would have thought the studio behind CAD the animated series would continue to strive in the present, going as far as animating for a television network? Wow. Not getting heated or dwelling on the past, Sohmer kept making comics and move forward, letting nothing get in his way of a successful business.
You're never going to please everyone, so don't try. Make something for yourself, make something that you enjoy. And if other people share your likes and your dislikes, you might just get an audience. But don't make something for everyone. It'll never work, and you'll just end up with a shitty, watered-down project.
But now we're nearing the end of the video where I say thank you to Justin Wang for speaking in this video. Thank you for Ryan Sohmer for talking to me in this video. And thank you for those who are about to stay for this tablet review. Not being sponsored by Gaomon, they sent me a PD 1161 monitor tablet, and let's have some wacky fun reviewing this thing. Costing less than 200 USD on most online listings, you get a 1080p 11.6 inch screen torque width. And I will note that it doesn't come with a stand, so probably looking into one is something you should do. With 8,192 pressure levels and 8 keys, this is quite a fine tablet for the size. And one of the nice things about the tablet is that it comes with the screen protector already put on, and since I'm very bad at putting them on, thank you for doing it for me. And despite using both HDMI and USB-C to power the thing, the connector cables actually have a little bit of extra plastic, so when you plug it in, it's actually more secure than some of the previous tablets I've reviewed. Right out of the box, the screen is calibrated, and to me, if you're looking for a cheap Wacom alternative that's very small, this ain't a bad deal. This ain't a bad deal. Phew. Once again, thank you Justin Wang for talking in this video, and thank you Ryan Sohmer for talking in this video. Thank you to everyone who stayed, And now, as I very slowly fade out, click this link to go to Skillshare and get some of that premium content.